What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another solo leveling Arise video. Alright guys, we are going to be doing a Remnant Power video today, and we're going to talk about all of the things that are involved with Remnant Power. Just so you guys are aware, in order to reset Remnant Power does cost 500 Essence Stones to do so, so make sure if you are going to do it, this is what you focus on and do it correctly. So we're going to try to give you guys the best information possible in order to get yourself the best outcomes, and at the same time, I'm going to show you guys what each of these hard mode, normal mode drops are looking like, so you can kind of focus on where you can. Obviously, if you are a brand new player or a free-to-play player, your main focus is going to be on completing normal. If you are a free-to-play player who's early access or just had really good luck at global and you can finish the first two bosses on hard mode, that's where you want to put your focus because it's actually faster. You'll get yourself the exact same amount of remnants as you would completing all of normal mode. So just so everyone's aware, I'm not going to go through every exact number, but I will show you guys how to get remnants. So in order to get remnants, you have to do the actual Workshop of Brilliant Light. And you guys can see here, each of these will drop you some remnants. Now, this one specifically here will drop you the least amount. So easy mode is by far the worst one. You're probably going to get roughly about in the 30s to 50s to 70s. Normal mode, you're going to get yourself a lot more. So this one gives you roughly about 100 to 150, and then obviously with the hard mode you can get all the way up to 270, which is what I've seen as the highest one. So if you are going to be doing this, just know this is a very, very long process, and each stage will drop a piece of remnant for you. You guys can see here on the pay to win, I have 7 WOBL tickets left, and in order to do all those, you can get yourself each of these from the boss stages only. Blessing stages do not give remnants, just so you guys are aware. It is going to be only the boss stages that do so, and you guys can see obviously right here is what you're looking at. All right, so doing hard mode is going to net you the most amount. Obviously, I think that's pretty straightforward. And then normal mode obviously will give you the second most, and then easy being the worst. Now, how does this all work, and what is this all about? So the way this works, I'm just going to go ahead and reset mine. Okay, I'm going to reset with 500 Essence Stones here. You guys can see everything is back to normal now. The way remnants works is the more you level up your actual remnant power, the more points you get. You guys can see here, I have something called passive points, right? So every single time you level up, it takes 400 to level up one level. Right there, you guys can see I've got level 15 now. This used 600 of these. So if I push it to 15, it gives me 42 passive points, okay? Now, each of these monarchs, I would imagine, is going to have their own monarch remnant stage. This is the Shroud of Baron. I'm assuming, eventually the monarch of Frost, the monarch of, Fangs, the monarch of, the dragons, etc. They're all going to have their own stages and things that you have to do to get them. So right now, don't worry about saving these. I don't think they're going to affect you in any way, shape, or form. Plus, you can always reset if you have to. Now, the way this works is pretty straightforward. Everybody gets the Baron Lightning Strike Tier 1, right? This is a support skill that even the Hunters can use, as well as Sun Jinu. Baron strikes down with a giant sword made of lightning, deals 5,000% of Baron's attack. Note, it's his attack, so it's very important to remember. Preemptive wait time is 30 seconds, can be used once, has medium break, and also can do a knockdown on the opponent. So what do you do first? All right, I'm going to explain to you guys how this works. The main thing to note is who is your main DPS. That's the first thing you want to know. So for this account, for example, it's going to be Mirei for sure. So we're going to go 2 points into this. You guys can see here, it tells you right here, 2 points into this, 2 points into this, and that's going to push and allow you to unlock this one here, right? This will enhance all passives up to the previous tier selected, right? You would like to enhance this passive. So this will give Shadow's attack increased by 10% when Baron is in the formation, just so you guys are aware. So this means your Shadows will do 10% more damage if Baron is just equipped. Just equipped. Does not have to be used, just equipped. So your Shadows do 10% more damage. All right, next up, you guys can see here, we have the Fighter defense increase, we have the Fighter HP increase, and we have ourselves the Fighter class Hunter increase, right? This is for your Fighter. So if you look at your squad, right? If you look at your squad here, anybody with this, like Cha, for example, will benefit from this. This over here is going to be your mages. So pretty much your mages will benefit here. So ideally for this one, I would go with this. If you have Charlotte, for example, as your main DPS, then you want to use her, right? But for me, I want to go with this. So I'm going to go 10 here. And this here will now give Sun Jinu increased by 500 attack when Remnant Baron is in the formation. So if you look here, right? If we look at this, let's go to the formation actually. It's probably better if I do it this way. Manage teams. Like if I take him, let's look with him here. Let's look at the stats real quick. So this is what they're referring to. See, I was 40634, right? 40634. If I remove him, let's just unequip him, disband. 40634, should become, it'll be, so this will be passively increased when he's on. All right, so going back in again right here, that would increase SJW's power right here, his attack specifically. Okay, that's what that's supposed to do. So if I go back here again, you guys can see here, attack increased by 500 when he's in the formation. Now this one here is for the shadows. Now you don't have to go for this one. You can now move on from here. If you don't care about your shadows having more attack, you can then increase and go to this next section. So this one here, ultimate skill damage increased by 2% when he's in the formation, or basic skill damage increased by 2%. Now basic skill damage, just so you guys are aware, is your skill attacks. All right, that's for your hunters as well as SJW's weapon skill. So if I click here, that's going to give 3% more there. This is 7, so that's a lot, right? Keep that in mind. So 7 is quite a bit. But if you were to get this out of the way right there, now you have enough points to get yourself the next level for Baron. Now this is the same strike, but it's tier 2. All right, and what this essentially does is the same level of power, same level of time, used once with the same medium break. The only difference here is damage is increased by 500% in the Workshop of Brilliant Light, specifically the upper castle. Okay, so we want to definitely unlock that. There you guys go. Now this will automatically, you guys can see what happens though when you get to that point, it automatically uses all your points to get to the next tier. So this is important to note. Okay, very, very important to note. You guys can see all my passive points are gone, right? So when you first are starting this, it's going to be pick the ones that are most important to you, but the moment you get to the second tier, it automatically fills in every single one of these passives. You have no choice. It will use all of your points to go back and give you everything else that you've missed. So in the beginning, it's important to choose the ones that benefit you the most, but as soon as you decide to update the skill advancement tier 2, everything else is instantly filled in with the rest of the points that you have, and this will now be completed. So this entire section is full. So again, in the beginning, who's your main DPS? Focus on that. So Cha, Mirei, for example, right? Here, SJW is more important for me than shadows. Focus on that. Basic attacks is more important, ultimates are more important, okay? But as soon as that's done and I decide to get this, it doesn't matter what I want to go forward. It will automatically fill in the rest of it for me, and you will get the points for that as well. Very, very important to note that, okay? That's going to be a key thing to note. And the same thing will happen here. You guys can see now is defense penetration, MP increase, and precision, right? You guys can see it's different though. Defense penetration, again, same classes, right? But the same precision, etc. And then here you guys can see shadow attack goes up by 20, SJW goes up by 1,000, right? So same thing applies, 5% versus 5%. And then now tier 3 happens. Now the medium break becomes almighty break. The damage becomes 7,000 and the damage increase remains the same. Again, going back to this again, it's going to be the next tier up, and look how much the assassin's stats increase, 1,500. So this is the newest tier now, level 2. And then from here, look at this, 1,500 SJW, right? And then from here, it doesn't give you another tier into Baron. Instead, it just increases your stats completely, and that's where it ends, guys. So this is going to be a fairly long-term goal for everybody. It's going to take some time to complete this, but it does become extremely powerful. The main thing to remember is always equip him before you go into a battle. If you don't equip him, you will not get these bonuses. It won't even show in the stat sheet, by the way. It's a buff that you will get in the battle as long as he's equipped. Every mode you need to equip him. If you haven't equipped him, go back and do so in every mode. Make sure he's on all of your formations. So that's pretty much it, guys. In the beginning, focus on what benefits you the most, but the moment you tier up any of his lightning strikes, it'll automatically fill in the rest for you, and you have no choice but to get them. But at the start, focus on your best DPS and focus on getting SJW stats up first. All right, guys, this is Payne. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope this was insightful. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take care.